What's up, y'all? LTJ Reads here. This is Throwing Light, and this is episode 171. It could be 71 or 72 or 70. We're in that. I'll get it right next time. Anywho, thank you guys for tuning in. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can literally go to YouTube and just put LTJs here. If you want to see all the Throwing Light interviews, Throwing Light tours, I'm starting to do reels. We're getting ready to roll out the Throwing Light television show. I'm working on a documentary. I'm doing a lot of personal creative projects this year, really trying to come out as a creative force in the leather community. So please just follow me there. And always, if you're interested of being on the show, reach out. The only, I mean, really, the only rule I have is just don't be problematic in the community, and you can be in the show. So that's pretty much it. We're gonna go ahead and kick it over to our guest. We've got Dominique, the very first Miss Leather Montreal 2017.
Yes, sir.
OG. Okay. Okay.
I'm the
Okay.
OG.
So what's happening in Montreal right now?
So much, my friend, so much. Well, first things first, I co-founded a leather and latex club called the Phoenix of Montreal, and we are organizing post-pandemic now the second contest owned by the Leather Club for Mr. Leather, Miss Leather. And this year we're adding MX Leather. We're adding Fetish Montreal.
Right
And
on.
we have Rubber Montreal.
Right on. Right
So
on.
it's in October. It's from the 8th of October to the 12th of October. So it's our Labor Day not our Labor Day, our Thanksgiving in Canada.
So Thanksgiving is when? October what?
8th to the 12th.
So is there an actual day or is the whole week considered Thanksgiving week or whatever?
It's considered the whole weekend because like we don't work on the Monday, right?
Yeah.
Same as y'all's. Same as IML weekend.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Ours
October.
is
Okay.
like,
So like what got you involved in the community from the get-go? What brought you into this world?
oh my Lord, we go back to 2005.
Okay.
I started out as an apprentice leather tailor in a fetish shop in Montreal.
Okay.
And my passion for leather started there. And mind you, back in 2005 in Montreal, there was more or less colors, right? It was black or it was brown.
Right.
We seem about the same age, so we've known the first steps in the leather, right?
Right.
There was no color or barely colors back then. And in Montreal, I started to push to have leather colors because for me, how can you just have black or how can you just have brown, right?
Mhm.
So I've kind of pushed to have the white, the red, the blue, the yellow, which are now the basic colors of said some flags, like the
Yeah.
rubber flag or the leather flag. And we go forward to 2013 when I co founded the Leather Club. That is still, we started five in a kitchen table, around the kitchen table, talking about what we can bring to the community because Montreal back then had two leather clubs. If I remember correctly, there was the Centaur and there was the MC Faucon, which one of the pins are right here. And they all gradually died with time. So we wanted to bring back a leather club to unite the community and to unite back then what we had in Montreal, which was latex and leather, because puppies back then were considered leather. So we brought this back and we made it inclusive. Women, trans, men, no matter who you are, what orientation you are, you have a place in our latex and leather club. And no matter the fetish, because it's inclusive. And so it started with 15 members the first year, and now we are up to almost 130 members.
When did it start?
2013.
2013.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great that you could build bridges early on and create that community. And so it's ingrained in the fabric.
Yeah.
That is probably, and that is really what is wrong with, at least I can say, in terms of American leather community business owners and makers, is that they don't understand, or they might, from my understanding, it's not. They're very money focused and they're
Mm.
traditional. Like it's quite interesting and a little frustrating that it feels that often sometimes our businesses are inclusive and in photos, but when you actually get to the venue or you start looking into their marketing, it's for gay men. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Um,
I hear you.
so
I've worked in a gay sex shop. I was the first woman to work in the Montreal community gay village gay man sex shop in 2005. And I stayed there for 11 years and became the first woman manager.
interesting.
Yeah. So
That
I hear you.
we're gonna come back to that. I've got to
Yeah.
dig into
I'm
that.
a trailblazer, baby.
What I was trying to say is that we are now like, the Texas leather contest hasn't opened up to leather and rubber and all of that. But I try to tell the community, and I say this so much, is that we have to reinvent the wheel. We like literally have to go to the fabric and rebuild.
Mhm.
And you are an example of doing that and how it can grow into harmony without any problems, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And for some reason, we're like backwards and we're thinking that creating harmony is going to breed problems. Like, well, we don't want our gay men clientele to be uncomfortable with women or trans people in the bar because they spend money. I mean, that's where we're at. I'm being honest with you. That's where we're at
Yeah.
right now. That's what
I
we're
hear
dealing with
you.
right now. And I can't, I can only do so much. You can only do so much, right?
Right.
But I've learned that in many ways for us or people that are living in the US and going through things is that we have to step outside the community to make progress because we can't do it from within because people are double downing, in the center. So managing a gay men's sex shop, okay, like, I feel
I
like it
see.
would be unreasonable for me to think that you did not face discrimination in that job role.
Oh my God. The first year I started working there, the best comment that I still remember was a customer. Picture this in your mind. I am working in the leather shop downstairs because it's a 2 stories building. And what is mostly sexual and leather and toys was in the basement. And I'm working, doing my stuff, having a blast. And this man comes up to me, an older gentleman, with a with a um, no, I don't want to say a stiletto, but a high heel that needed to be fixed to add either a hole for it to be tighter or a snap or whatever. And I said, sure, gladly. It's a big $2 for you. No problem there. Goes up to the cashier to pay his bill and says to the cashier that he didn't know was the manager, oh, you know what? The lesbian downstairs should be put in a container and thrown out
Why?
because he was, I don't know, unsatisfied to be served by a woman,
What
but
did you do?
nothing. I'm talking the same way I would talk to him or any other customer. I am one
So,
people person.
he just had a, but you know what's crazy about that is that you're good enough to fix his shoe.
Oh yeah,
You should be
but
thrown out in a container. Like, but look, this is fundamentally a problem.
yeah,
It's a fundamental problem we're having here
yeah.
because the discrimination that gay men have towards lesbians is so unwarranted. It's so unwarranted. There's no reason to be discriminatory against lesbians.
But mind
Absolutely
you,
no
I
reason.
no, and mind you, I am fortunate in my misfortune, if you can say it like that. I am masculine presenting. So when I go to leather events or leather nights, I'm one of the boys, right? Because I'm masculine presenting, which made my title year very easy. Very hard, but very easy at the same time. Because I was invited by Bluff, who's a men only chapter in Montreal, but I refused. But even though I wear perfectly well the uniform of leather, and I check the box of Tom of Finland when I wear my complete uniform with my cap, I don't go because this is not my place. But for some events, it's easier because I'm masculine presenting. But if I bring my wife, who's a blonde bombshell from New Jersey, a leather girl, it don't go well, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's interesting. We don't talk about like passing too much in the community, passing as masculine or feminine. Um, in what ways was your title year made easy by presenting in a masculine way? What were some things that made it easier?
Fundraising was easy.
Okay.
Fundraising was easy because what gay man doesn't like to drink? Well, most of them do, some don't. But it was easy to fundraise for a leather centered fundraiser because I could go in the Black Eagle, I could go in Bluff, I could go in another group and just show up and say, hey, give me some money. I'm doing a travel fund. I'm raising funds for this. And I had $5, $10 flying easily. But for some, if I did a GoFundMe and I say, I'm the first Miss Madame Cuir, Montreal. I need travel funds to go to my international IMSL contest in California. I would get nada.
You know,
It's mind blowing.
so what was the most disrespectful thing that anyone had done to you during your title year?
Wow. Not giving me a voice, deciding
So
for
were
me.
you drowned out?
No, it was mostly like, since you have to keep in mind that I'm the first Miss in Montreal, so I had to compete in a man's contest. So having no handbook on how to be a woman, a leather woman title holder, all the gay men that were title holders, either latex or leather, came to give me advice, not knowing it won't serve me for IMSL, because you're not a woman, you don't know what IMSL is.
So just to clear it up for people that are watching, you competed in a men's leather contest and won?
Yeah.
Come on now, let's talk about that. Let's talk about
92,
that. Let's talk about
92
that.
92.25%, it was my final score. I was the only contestant for the Miss title. And the fondest memory of the contest, when it was time to give out the scores, the MC back then just looked at me and said, are you ready for your score? Do you think you made it? And I just turned to the crowd and pointed the crowd. So the crowd went completely bonkers. And then they announced that I won. So imagine I still have shivers talking about it. It was the best feeling in the world, but it was the
Man,
hardest.
I was so I was just so covered with anxiety both of the times. I competed three times and won once. My record is
Oh,
1 out of 3. I competed for Mr. Texas, but I didn't know what I was doing. That was literally my introduction to the community. So, I've only been a leather, I started pursuing it in August of 2022. So I turned 4 in August. But within that first year, I was already trying to compete for a title and then came back and won. And then I went to IML, and I was just very the contest. I was underprepared for Mr. Texas, and I was underprepared for IML. I was prepared for the Austin Eagle one because I knew it was coming, and it was the first one, and I knew what my mistakes were, and I knew that everyone didn't know who I was. So I had
right.
time to build that relationship. And, where I was competing for my second time, um, all the other competitors were competing. Well, no, I think there was maybe another guy that was competing for his third time. My whole thing was like growth. And that's how I got the sash. It was like, and
That's
they saw a tremendous amount of growth from the first time I ran to when I competed for Mr. Austin
yeah,
Eagle. So,
yeah.
and I,
That's
and I, I remember I was walking in the barn. This is like 6 months later, because when we're in our title years, we feel very underappreciated a lot of the time. Because we're working so hard and we don't quite get the turnouts and things we want. But I was just on the back patio one night, and a patron came up to me and goes, "You really deserve that. You know that?" And it was just so touching. It was very touching. I would have to tell you more about my personal life on another day, but it was just kind of a full circle moment for me because I had been the first Pride president in Lafayette, Louisiana in 2014. And then in
wow.
2020, and it was for conservative gay people. So I had a horrible time. And I was even sexually assaulted during that year, and they told me I deserved it. So it was a very different community then to me work with to come back to a community in 2024 that loves me, appreciates me, likes to see me walk in. So I understand what it's like to be the first in that regard, but I do
Yeah,
relate to I am really, really about uplifting women right now. And I'm not going to say right now, it really has been my whole life.
yeah.
Um, and, what are some things since you became the first Miss Leather Montreal? Let's talk about, okay, so we got to that. So what was your goal? What was your vision for yourself in that first year?
To be visible, to be visible for other women that are curious about what it is. Like, what is it? Like, I have on my YouTube channel a video that Montreal Pride made that explains a little what is a Miss Leather Montreal. Like, what's a title holder, but the woman version. And my fondest souvenir of that is I was in a convention center for what we call here in Montreal the erotic salon, which is, I don't think it occurs anymore, but back then it was a thing, which is everything sex related. So you could buy toys, lube, session in a dungeon, whatever you want.
I'm
It was
sorry.
there.
I'm sorry. That's my dryer going crazy. I apologize. Okay.
I don't even hear
Repeat
it.
that part because it could have gotten drowned out. It sounds like someone's fighting, but that I don't know why it's doing that. What was that? We have someone come to look at it. So, anyways.
So yeah, at the convention center, at the erotic salon, I paired up during my year with Boy Butter Lubes, with Eyal, the CEO. We are buddies. We know each other from when I worked at the gay fetish shop, and I'm like, can I volunteer at your booth? I don't want to work for you. I just want to be visible so that if people have questions, I'm with my sash. I answer questions. If they have questions on lube, I'm well trained. I can answer. And he's like, of course, Dom, bring it on. He made a publicity. And then when the salon, the convention was over, on my Facebook Miss Leather Montreal page, someone left a beautiful comment that they were starstruck, that they saw someone finally with a title, with a stole that has a voice for women of leather and has visibility. And that has stayed with me. My title is 10 years old next year. And it's a huge milestone for Montreal. And that comment has stayed with me the whole time. So my focus, my year was visibility. I had to be everywhere. I had to do conferences. I had to do panels. Anyone who would want to talk, I had my title vest on, my sash on every damn night because it's important. I was educating folks, even on basic stuff like consent. I was present, I was visible.
Right on. That
Yeah.
it's beautiful. I had Antoine and Benoit on the show. Was there any stop and go with your title because of the pandemic?
Yeah. So pandemic hit and the we stopped the contest in 2019 and restarted them in 2025 when our leather club took them over because the committee before got dissolved because they were misogynistic pricks. And I was on said board and I just like, no. Yeah.
It's nice to be highlighting the return of the community there.
Yeah.
You now being the third guest from Montreal. My goal is to come there. So,
Hey, you have a
um,
place to stay if you ever want
hey,
to.
I would love to come there. I've talked to Antoine about it, but I'm going to be bringing Antoine down here for I've told him he can't tell anybody yet. I'm like telling it right now in the episode. But Antoine, I've tapped him with the hopes of him to come down here and judge. But only us that are watching and you know that. So he doesn't know because I don't know if he's going to watch this, but he knows. But
Oh, he will.
anyway, it'll be blasting soon because it's going to be in January.
My
Um,
grandbabies are curious, so they'll watch.
of course. Yeah. People are curious. I've learned that.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
There's a few more things. Let me get before we wrap up here. Okay, so I want to go back to
Go.
today.
Yeah.
As of today,
Yeah.
what are your focuses? What are your passions? Where do you feel like you need to be visible?
I'm going to wink, wink, and I hope this person is watching. I have a good friend of mine called Louis Philippe that brought me back to life, literally, because the pandemic hit me hard.
Yeah.
I was a social butterfly. You know, when you're a title holder, you're everywhere. You do a lot of stuff, and pandemic really hit me hard. I got married pre-pandemic, had my Corona moon with my wife during pandemic, and I was stuck at home, so I had a hard time coming out. And this little man brought me back to life in 2025 and said, "You are missed. You are needed. We need your voice, your person, your entire human being with us in the community. Can you please come and judge the 2025 contest?" And I said, absolutely. And it was hard for me because it was a big step coming back in the community in 2025, post pandemic. But I'm so glad he came to get me because since that day, I crave the exact same thing that when I was a title holder, which is community, which is meeting new folks, which is teaching, coaching new folks. What is leather? You want to know about leather? Come and have a drink with me, my friend. We'll sit down, we'll talk. You'll see how fun it is, how the community is really, really, really welcoming. And my passions, I have started my leather workshop because I'm a leather tailor by passion since 2005.
What's your leather workshop called?
I don't have a name yet.
But it's just a leather workshop.
Yeah, for now it's in my garage. I'll
Oh,
tell
so
you
are
the
y'all
name.
making leather or are you just
Yeah,
having discussion? Oh, so you're making leather. Okay.
yeah. Mostly accessories right now, but soon to be full on gear.
Good. I love to hear that.
Yeah,
Like I said, you got to make the product for trans people and for women. You have to make the product. Because sometimes creating the vision is what helps people. Like it could be very well that women of leather don't know the full capacity of their creativity in leather because it's being stifled by men in leather,
exactly.
right? Like
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
understand. I understand.
And my wish is also to make leather more accessible
Yeah, it needs to be. It
because
should be.
not everybody has the wallet to pay
No.
$600 for a pair
No,
of
and
chaps.
we shouldn't shame people that are wearing, like I'm not in tune to first of all, I'm in Texas. So you're not going to see me in full leather very much. You're just
I know.
not. It's my personal choice. I'm not trying to offend anybody. But if there isn't a reason that I need to be full in leather, I'm not going to be in full leather, and I'm new guard. So, I understand the need to be um the
Yeah,
police firm or whatever, but we're not there today, okay? We're just not there today. And
exactly.
not to say there was anything wrong with that in the past, but I want to be in an inclusive world. I want us to stop being rigid in our creativity and our pursuit of the future. We have got to be we've got to be fluid and not just our identities, but how we approach everything.
Yep.
And there's a little black kid like me sitting in a small town right now that could be very well looking at Tom of Feeling magazines or on that and thinks he cannot be that person. But I'm that person. You get what I'm saying? I
Yep.
would have thought that I could never be a man of leather, being a person of color, being a black person in Louisiana. Like I was constantly told that I was subpar, that I was inferior, you know? But now today, I am a Leatherman and I am a Leatherman of color. And just like you're a lesbian and you are a woman here, like I have had these random moments where someone from high school might pop up in my head or something
Yes.
or some interaction and I'll go just out of curiosity to see what's going on. And I'm a recovering crystal meth addict and I was shocked at how many guys that I knew, especially queer men that have died are in really bad positions that never made it
Yeah.
out. And then I recently saw that one had died. And so, I guess a few days ago, there was this guy that had a crush on me in high school. And I was very, I've been able to pass in many ways. I did get teased a little bit, but it wasn't anything that like I genuinely felt like I wasn't going to be able to withstand because I had to pass a lot. I passed as, if I could pass as white if I did, if I could pass as straight, even though I identify as being pansexual and I saw that he posted this guy and it said that he had been homeless and that he had been
Oh,
messing with meth and that he had just gotten his life better. And I could not imagine being who I am today and living in my small hometown. And it really hit me that I'm like, you know what, Lewis, you're doing this for them. Like, you got out, you know what the world is and they don't and they need you and so
yeah.
it's emotional but like it's a realization to not fuck it up, Lewis, don't fuck it up. because
It's
not
a step.
everybody gets
Yeah.
this. Not everybody gets to where we get to get and to be influences on people and to inspire people. And like it's it's overwhelming. It's a little
It is.
overwhelming, you know? Do you have a
It
lot
is.
of people that reach out to you and just are like, thank you for being you? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, tons, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
What does that make you feel? How does that make you feel?
That I have a place at the table, that I have the right to be there, that I am welcome there, and that I'm stepping in the light
I love
to,
it.
yeah, but it is that. We are given one life. We must use it wisely, right?
Yeah, no, it's like people tell me often, like when, because people tell me I'm busy. I know I'm busy. I don't need people but people always tell me I'm busy. Um, and that I'm doing a lot, and in some ways maybe too much. And I try to explain to them to what we know we have one life on this planet. Like, don't discourage me from aiming for the stars. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Don't even if and look, the thing I did learn this year is to ask for help. I'm gonna ask for help, okay? I'm learning to do that. But I'm here for the gold medal of life. I'm here to be in the history books. I'm here to be an influence around the world because I see what a lot of people can't see. And I've done this show here now that's evolved into what it is. And now, I reach out just thinking like maybe I reach out to you. Some people, there are people that are fully aware of this platform, not just in the United States, but in Australia and in England and Germany,
Yeah.
Canada. And there goes that again. Anyways, so um live our lives and help people to our fullest and also take care of ourselves. So taking good care of yourself is also, I think Michelle Obama said that she wanted to take care of herself in a way that her daughters would take care of themselves in the same way. So, and you get this, as being public figures, we have to be kind to ourselves. We've got to make sure we're not being so hard on ourselves because there are people that look up to us and to me and they everyone doesn't know what our struggles are when we work every day, but we might just when someone's not directly telling you that you're impacting your life, you don't know. We don't know. So
You're right.
we
We're
could go up
clueless.
and be like, well,
Yeah.
we can go and be like, hey, I don't feel like I've impacted anybody, which is a lie to us, to our own selves, right?
Yep.
So, Dom, okay, what is one aspect of our community that you feel that we are not shedding enough light on?
Oh my Lord.
So many, huh?
Togetherness. Togetherness.
Togetherness, yeah.
In 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 the Montreal community, the leather men and leather women are still, unfortunately, very separate. There's not enough support. Their leather men should support their leather women, and vice versa. It's always been very difficult. Not a problem, but difficult, if you understand what I mean.
I get it.
Like I had a Sash husband, but we don't talk anymore. He's out of the scene.
So he's done. Yeah,
Gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of people, especially with the IML contest, once they do IML, skedaddle, you never see them again. So
Yeah.
it's always interesting to see how the cream rises to the top because it doesn't have that contest and its significance in the long run will not impact what kind of leather person you become. That's your choice. You can use that
Exactly.
contest to elevate and to network and do everything, but I'm
It
sure there are podium people that have disappeared and
absolutely.
you know what I'm
I
saying?
we have we have plenty IMLs that come from Montreal. I think of my favorite IML, Bola Deveshka, who is IML 2006, and he disappeared after IML. After his title of IML, gone. It
Yeah.
was too much, too much. But slowly comes back, but it's hard. But no, a big contest should not define you.
No.
You should know who you are prior to entering a local contest and an international one.
This is what I'm going to end on. You know what is the hardest part of being in this community that we don't talk about? Like right now, like I feel like, and this is my family, like where am I going to go? Like, you know what I'm saying? I put so much work and love into this community and feel a part of it. And I don't think that we're always going to see eye to eye, me and the community. But it's nice to be able to feel like you're useful. And I think in just the 4 years that I've had in this community, it's really transformed my life into wanting to be my best.
Good.
So I want that for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I want everyone to thrive and feel like they're a part of something. But the hardest part for me are the people that do disappear or the people we lose. And I have brothers that I thought. I got really close to a couple of my IML brothers, and one of them really, really close. And he's gone, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Um, and maybe I could reach out or whatnot, but it just doesn't seem like he's interested in this anymore. And the thing is that a lot of the friendships that I have transcended leather. So it's not like we couldn't be friends as a whole because I have tons of leather people, friends that we're wholeheartedly friends. But as we continue to stay in this community and keep our toes down in the ground, we're going to see a lot of people go and some might come back. I'm always
Absolutely.
encouraging. I'm like, hey, you need a break. I get it. But we would love to have you back. I have a brother in Houston. I'm like, dude, when you're ready, like, because he never got to
Yeah.
go to IML and he felt like he had
It's hard. It's
He,
hard.
yeah, he just felt like he was, I don't use the word mistreated, but like looked down upon because he chose not to go to IML, which it shouldn't be that serious, y'all. We got real stuff going on in the world.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
He
It really
shouldn't be
shouldn't be that
frowned
serious.
upon
Yeah.
because he chose not to.
Mhm. All right, Dominique. Well, we are at the end of our episode. There is one thing
Already?
I have to get. Yeah, then this is actually a more longer episode. I could keep you on there forever. But I'd love to have you back. So let's make that happen.
Anytime, babe.
Yeah, for sure.
Anytime.
I'm gonna count to three, and you're gonna say if you're not throwing light, you're not acting right.
You got it.
Ready? One, two, three.
If you are not throwing light, you ain't acting right.
That's right. Coming from Canada, y'all.
Quebec.
Montreal. Thank you all so much for another episode of Throwing Light. Thank you, Dominique, for coming over here. Wonderful conversation. Great episode. Thank you for being you. Thank you for having this conversation for me. Please come back. All right.
I will come back whenever you want.
Got it. All right, y'all. We're out.